Here's Pat Cash, the Wimbledon champion, to serve in the first game. Ready, play.
So a great moment for Cash, who has achieved so many memorable wins in his hometown. Another start.
$15 love.
Always in big matches, the early stages are so important because they often set the tone. Sweden for you.
15 all.
Dozens and dozens of young war-painted Swedes are here. I'm quite sure that there are going to be yells and screams from them. They could have quite an effect on the outcome.
Well, they could disrupt Pat's concentration from time to time, but he has been so strong mentally, I think that's probably unlikely.
$15-13.
And that is under that hat, Ian Molly Meldrum, who's on the board at the National Tennis Centre.
$30 all.
Another windy day down there. That's good judgment for you. Can't have been more than an inch out.
40-13.
So anxious moments for both. Determined to be at the net. 1 love for him. First set.
And from the reverse angle, this is going to be the form of the battle. Cash making his way to the net, and the question that Mats is going to be asked is, can he pass him more times than not?
Out. 30.
The Wilander service action has many of the top players off the ground at the point of impact. And if Mats has a weakness, it's centred around his serve.
First service.
And expressly on his second serve. From the reverse angle, you could see Cash didn't make Mats move very much for that forehand, followed virtually down the centre of the court and not terribly deep.
So Mats Wilander has passed the first test. His nerve has held firm as Cash has tried to take the net position against his own serve. And a beautifully balanced match in prospect here. The attacker against the baseliner. And I think it'll be interesting to see how often, if at all, Mats Wilander is forced to come in simply to keep Cash from the net. So there from the Swedes.
And here you see it from Pat Cash's line. The serve not very well directed, and Mats handling it very easily.
First service.
Yes, I think we felt when we saw him play Edberg that Wilander could take the ball on the rise so easily on this court and with these balls. The service return such a key factor.
All. 15-30.
Well, he stayed back.
Yes, I was just wondering whether he was driven back or whether he chose to stay back. That's going to be part of his strategy, to sometimes serve volley his second ball.
You notice where the return went.
And here is the beautiful, fluent action of Pat Cash. Serve full extension at the point of impact and weight going forward, carrying him towards the net. And in trouble, 2 break points down.
And a distinct change of conditions from the rather antiseptic indoor arena that we had for the doubles.
Game Wilander.
So the wind playing a part here already. The first break of serve, Wilander leads 2-1.
Wilander leads 2 games to 1.
thanks to that second double fault from Cash. It is windy down there. It swirls. The sun now a factor from the far end, as always for a right-hander at this time of day.
Love 15.
I think you could see from that reaction of the umbrella there just how windy it is down there, and the flowers blowing around.
All.
Which would give it one thing in common with Kooyong, because Kooyong is a very difficult court to play on during the wind, because it was a bowl shaped as this is, and the wind would swirl around. It wouldn't come from any particular direction.
Ow! 30-15.
Seems to me in these very early stages that at the moment Pat Cash is a little more inhibited by the conditions and by the occasion than Mats Wilander, who looks a little more relaxed. But I'm sure that Pat will soon begin to relax. That's clever.
And here it is.
40-15.
Great court movement by Cash. But in the end, it was the topspin lobs that outmaneuvered Cash and allowed this passing shot by Wilander.
Yes, the lob's going to be a telling shot today because of the wind, isn't it?
Game Wilander.
So very confident Mats Wilander.
Wilander leads 3-1.
Whose serve these days is really an unobtrusively good weapon. Cash plenty to think about.
Love 15.
Of course, both men had those long semi-finals, 5 sets for each of them, and tremendous crowd here today, 15,000 plus in this stadium, bringing the week's total to about 245,000, easily a record.
All.
He's like a cat, isn't he, at the net?
$30-15.
The only time they've ever played on a similar type of surface to this was at the US Open in 1984. Cash won then. He won in 3 other Grand Slam Championship finals, matches, as you've heard.
40-15.
But he did lose the last time they played, and you can never remove that from your mind, can you?
Yes, and that was late in '87 in the Masters Grand Prix final, and it was a straight set loss.
Yes, the finals of the Nabisco Masters, which are in round robin and then knockout, and it was in the round robin section there.
But equally,
40-30.
at that stage of the year, Pat had played a great deal and done a lot of travelling right in the prior weeks to that event, so I don't think he was really well prepared to play in that final, and I think Mats had a bit of an edge because of that.
It's rather worrying to me that he has now elected to stay back.
Deuce.
Certainly there have been some wonderful returns to contend with, half volleys, wide balls, but I think once he gets into a defensive frame of mind, Wilander will love it.
Well, he's absolutely limited by his percentage of first serves in if he stays back after every second serve.
We'll see here what his present plan is. Well, I think that's better.
Advantage cash. Game cash.
A tremendous volley off his ankles, again by his feet, that lovely return. Cash still just in this first set. Wilander 3-2.
Wilander leads 3-2.
That's more like it. And a great Rod
Love
Laver
15.
there.
And this is a great play by Pat Cash. He did miss-hit that return a little bit. There is twice Grand Slam winner, the Rockhampton Rocket.
Who made some lovely pertinent remarks at a press conference the other day. What a great contribution he's making still to this game.
15 all.
Ted Tinling feeling the effects of today's rather strong gusty winds. Ted, who's the chief of protocol here and customarily announces the players to the crowd before we go on air each day. Great figure in the game. He was a dress designer to all the leading lady players and has been a referee. Started life as Suzanne Longlen's umpire.
(15-30).
John, this is what I think you wanted to see him do more.
Well, I think the more times he gets himself into that position as the match wears on, as we saw with Lendl, he made fewer and fewer passing shots as the match wore on, and especially during the crucial stages. keeping the ball very low here. And makes his way to the net with a
15,
flashing
40.
pass down the line. And Pat was questioning the ball close to the baseline at his end.
Well, here's a man who'll be all a twitch this afternoon, Pat Cash Sr., who plays every rally with his son, gets so involved. And Pat's uncle, Pat Sr.'s brother, there with him.
(30-40).
Significant that Wilander has realised that the net position is going to be the crucial area today on his serve. He doesn't want Cash there before him.
Deuce.
So 2 chances gone to break back.
Advantage Cash.
Sensible that, having experienced a couple of lobs from Wilander, he knows how difficult it is overhead today.
Deuce.
It's Ian Barclay, Pat's coach, since Pat was a very young man, or young boy. And interestingly there, John, Mats taking the initiative, getting to the net, if only to prevent Pat from doing likewise to him.
Because that is one of his best drives, that off forehand.
Advantage Wilander.
And here we see it from the reverse angle. Pat making his way to the net, played a good volley straight down the centre, trying to cut off the angle. But that's what Mats has to do to win the point when Pat comes to the net, is virtually land the ball on the line.
This has become a crucial game now, with Cash's 2 opportunities to break gone. Yes, a battle of the minds won by Wilander.
Wilander leads 4-2.
Well, I think we might look back later in this match and see that as a crucial moment. what they're doing, like two boxers around a ring, fencing for position. There were a couple of times there when Wilander could have gone in the rally, but he chose to stay back and allowed Cash to make the error. 2-4.
Love. Love.
Was against Lendl, it was the cumulative effect of his constant forays to the net that had its effect. And I think he must persevere with that today, regardless. He'll be passed a lot, he'll be lobbed a lot. But I don't think there's any other way of winning, frankly, do you?
Coming to the net, it's the percentage play over the long haul. Pat Cash is playing it to perfection, as we'll see from behind Pat Cash this time. Beautiful movement to the net, that angled volley. No chance of Mats running that one down.
Game Cash.
So the first ace of the match. Pat Cash holds serve. His first love game, 4-3 Wilander.
Wilander leads 4-3.
Well, last time Wilander served, there were 2 break points against him. I wonder if Cash can convert this time.
First service. Love.
That's taking advantage of the new balls and sliding that ball out wide to Cash's forehand. And I think the players realise now that that is probably the best serve to Pat on the first court. Slight forehand weakness from time to time.
Love.
Matt's really serving well so far in this match. First serve percentage at 76, which is very, very important for Max because he really does have a weakness on the second ball.
Love.
There's that serve again, sliding it wide to Pat's forehand.
He's playing a beautifully balanced match so far, Wilander, choosing his moments to come forward. Well, can't do much about that.
40-15. Game Wilander. Wilander leads 5 games to 3.
And the first of this first of 5-set championship final. And Cash now has been given notice that Wilander here will attack him. Give him the chance from the net. Putting a little bit of added pressure on the Australian.
Love 15.
3 now.
And here is the second serve that went long. Nothing particularly wrong with it, just a little over-aggressive. Trying to make sure if he was going to serve and volley off the second ball that he put in a good one.
Love 30.
Here's that beautiful low return that forced Pat to half volley up, and Mats was there with the passing shot. That time hooking it across court. His favourite backhand pass is actually straight up the line.
Look at those returns. It's superb returning.
Love 40.
And that particular one bringing a minor crisis for Pat Cash. 3 set points.
And again, Pat having to dig that volley out of the rebound ace surface, and just played a tremendous volley within only a few centimetres of the baseline.
So here's the dilemma. Having suffered those returns to his feet, does he follow the serve in now on the second serve set point? Well played. There's courage for you.
Well,
here we have it from the other angle. You could see how beautifully deep that first volley was, and Pat follows it up with the angled volley. Mats has played 5 tremendous returns of serve this game.
Still set point. Oh, it's out.
Game in first set, Wilander.
So there goes the first set. Mats Wilander has struck in almost 40 minutes, 6 games to 3.
First service. Love.
And here's Mats coming in very close after the serve, and he is a very competent volleyer.
Well, there is Fred Stolle, in a rather smart piece of headgear, heavily disguised behind those dark glasses, making his comments to folks on ESPN.
30 love.
Fred Solly was never the champion here, but he did lead Roy Emerson 2 sets to love in the finals of one year after he'd been runner-up to him a number of times and lost rather easily.
A winner in France and in America, 3 times a Wimbledon finalist.
40 love.
Oh, he's playing a good match, Wilander, you know. 2 volleying coups in the first 2 points. Good sliding serve there.
Game Wilander.
Trying to steer it in against the advancing Wilander. Fails. 1 love Wilander, second set.
First game, second set.
Pat really hasn't got a good look at his second serve so far in the match. And Mats has really bustled him around between points and during points.
Love 15.
And Pat has not found his rhythm on his serve. 4 double faults. And he's been pressing a little bit on his second serve when he's wanted to go to the net because Mats has been so devastating returning that second ball.
All.
So not much to smile about in the cash camp yet. But there's plenty of time.
(15-30).
In comparison with Mats's 75% of first serves in, Pat has only had 46% of first serves in and only won 66% of those points.
Yes, that's too low an overall percentage for a man who is a serve volley merchant. Oh my goodness, that return of serve, even off a good first serve now.
15-40.
Faultless. So he's got a tremendous battle going on within his own head. Should he go on attacking, as he knows he must really to win, and yet apparently go on committing suicide?
Out!
What he's got to produce is a greater variety of first serve, and I think possibly even look at not serving and volleying every single first serve, because I think that gives Mats a target. And Jan Tiriak was saying that he thought Mats passed better than Ivan Lendl in general.
Game Wilander.
And that's the sort of careful volley that comes when you're playing against a man returning as well as Wilander is.
Yes, that was the first
Wilander
moderately
leads
easy volley that Pat had in some time, and he really tried to put it deep into the corner, just overplayed the ball slightly. The sort of error that comes when you're thinking a little bit too much, and Mats sure has given Pat a lot to think about. Remember, Pat Cash was down 2 sets to love in last year's final against Stefan Edberg, came back to 2 sets all.
and made a tremendous fight of that final set. What a thriller that was.
Out! 15 love.
That's what happens when you have so few opportunities on second serves. Pat taking too much time, really trying to make a winner out of it. Overplaying the ball.
Love. $30-15.
Little role reversal.
Yes. Which one is Cash? Surely the man at the net. Wrong.
Clearly wide.
Well now.
30 all.
With the ascendancy of Wilander so great so far, we have to put 30 all down as a half chance. Big point this.
The unforced errors, only 2 for Wilander, 14 for Pat.
Oh dear. It was
40-30.
Exactly the right shot.
Yes, played at precisely the right time. Wilander charging to the net after the low half volley. And maybe that lob being affected slightly by the wind.
Going to serve volley there.
And now we'll see it from Mats's corner. And you could just see Cash all over that passing shot like a rash. Angled the forehand volley away.
Well, this is an altogether more adventurous and more aggressive Wilander. Points won at the net. You'd expect Cash to win more, but
Advantage Wilander.
But this, I think, is what most people would have hoped to have seen Wilander do in that final of the French Open against Ivan Lendl, when he wasn't as aggressive and attacking tactically as he should have been, and admitted as much afterwards.
And that was a serious error in judgment by Mats. This could be the first sign of a little finals tension. Well, never looking like it was going out.
And the noise you can hear is either the umpires or the effects microphones catching the wind.
Advantage Wilander.
And that is the sign that Mats often gives on court after a successful point. It's apparently a common sign from his hometown in Sweden.
Game Wilander.
So Mats Wilander, the attacker, takes a 3-love lead in the second set.
Pat really snapping at that forehand volley.
Love
It's
15.
just hit the panic button a little bit.
I wish we'd been keeping statistics on the number of half volleys he's hit when he's come in behind his serve.
Yes, Mats has just been deadly on the return of serve.
Which again suggests to me that this is a slow court.
Well, combined with these balls, I think the conditions end up a little bit on the slow side.
Love 30.
It is fascinating, this, isn't it, that the serving volleyer is staying on the baseline, the baseline is living at the net.
Fifteen 30.
So we have it from court level. Again, Cash having to play a low volley, but this time being able to pick the passing shot.
All.
Well, now that has cheered up the Prime Minister and everybody sitting around here, I think, who supports Pat Cash. The second ace.
40-30.
Exactly the right psychological mode, and I'm sure that this capacity crowd, 15,000 strong, is just waiting to lift him. If only he can give them a little more to cheer about like that.
Deuce.
5 now.
Advantage cash.
Oh dear.
Deuce.
And that really is a tentative volley that he tried to steer past Mats, concentrating on trying to beat his opponent rather than just aiming the ball for a spot on the court and going for it.
It was a good piece of Swedish bluff.
Well, this is becoming a more and more important game, I think. So if Mats could get the second break, it would almost seal up the second set and a 2-set-to-love lead.
Advantage cash.
Cat has faced crisis before. Love 40 down first game, the 5th set against Lendl, and things look grim, and that's when he played his best tennis.
Game cash.
That was a good deep serve.
Wilander leads 3-1.
So as John Alexander suggested, that was a crucial moment. That Mats only one break ahead and by no means yet certain to win this second set. And I thought just looking a little bit tentative himself there on return of serve for the first time. We'll see what sort of mood he's in now.
First service. Love.
Those half chances must be taken. He's going to. He's going to break the thread here of Swedish control.
Love. 40 love.
Well, the policy of taking the net position himself has certainly paid dividends today. Never a natural instinctive volley of Wilander. Nevertheless, he's got enough back to force the errors. Yes, that's good.
And Cash so lacking in confidence at the moment that he was about to walk around
15.
thinking that the volley had missed. You'd see him heading to his chair, only be turned back by the good call.
Game Wilander.
And another competent volley, holding serve for Wilander. 4-1 he leads second set.
It really does look quite dark here at this moment. And Mats, earlier in the week there, he's holding his hand out, feels rain.
And so does Cash.
And they're off.
The rain has come, and I think you'll find that Richard Ings will call them off. We shall see. But it'll give...
Let's just wait on the court for a second, Mr. Cash.
Well, he wants them to wait, but I don't
No way.
know.
Rain's coming down.
Ladies and gentlemen, suspension of play due to rain. Thank you.
Rain's coming down very heavily.
So I think this is the luckiest chance for Pat Cash. He'll be able to speak in the locker room to his coach, Ian Barclay. That is allowed, but a change, rather when they leave the court. You can't coach from the sidelines while the match is in progress, but I wonder what he's going to advise him.
Well, I think it will largely just, he will try to provide the calming input that Pat needs. Pat was rushed, he was bustled, he was surprised by Mats's tactics, and I think that Ian will translate the tactics, express to him what he sees has been happening, and devise a mental outlook for him and a tactical play to enforce.
Minutes away.
Nothing's changed.
Love 15.
That's how the match began. Quick break of serve of Cash in game 3 of this match set the whole tone of the proceedings. Another half volley.
Love 30.
The only success that Pat really has had in serving has been wide to the first court.
My goodness, if Cash were to recover and win this set, this crowd would certainly erupt. Oh, he's playing so beautifully.
Well, Pat had to come to the net. He had to do something after the half volley.
40.
If he lingers back, he makes a very easy target for the passing shot. So he bluffed, came in, and Matt sensed it, came back with a topspin lob.
Second service.
That's the Swedes. Not played.
30-40.
Here it is from the other end of the court. Pat playing patiently, cracks the good backhand down the line, and he's there covering the line.
He's had very few shoulder high volleys today, has he? They've nearly all been around his ankles.
Deuce.
As this one was right low, had to get very low to make that forehand volley. And Cash saves 2 break points. Desperately trying to hang on to this second set, trailing 1-4.
Advantage Cash.
Well, I suppose he's built a reputation in the last few years of being one of the finest battlers in the business. And if he could now hold on serve after twice being break point down, we might yet see a little tightening in the Swedish arm.
Absolutely pinned to the baseline then.
Deuce.
He has this tendency to seem to want to try and beat the baseliners at their own game. I'm not sure it's very wise, because the net position is where he wins most of his points. We know that from our statistical surveys.
Advantage Cash.
And here's how he slid that ball wide on the first serve. And he did well just to get a racket to the ball.
Well done. Well, that, I think, was an immense moment in Cash's recovery if we're going to see one.
Yes, it could well be the beginning of a fight back.
Wilander leads.
Surely, had he lost that game, Wilander would have been serving at 5-1. It would be too much to expect him to come back in this set, and so therefore probably would have been down 2 sets to love.
This is what I think is going to happen now. I think we're going to get the crowd beginning to lift him. He hasn't yet given them anything to cheer, simply because Wilander here has played perfect tennis. But if he can, then I think the crowd might well begin to revel the Swede, though having said that, he's one of the calmest men I know.
It's very, very much so.
Just listen to that.
And here's Wilander at the net. Cash has him moving all over the court, sets up the position there, and nails it down the line.
Quiet, please. Thank you.
Quiet, please, is not going to be easily obeyed. 5 backhand winners apiece. Yes, he's done it. Cash is back in business and really pumped up. What a marvellous tennis match. 4-3 Wilander, second set.
That second serve, I would have said 30 or 40 kilometres faster than any second serve he'd served all day.
At last, Cash looks like a man with a mission.
Love.
What a wonderful drag confidence is. Cash really on a high right now.
Well, what a difference when it's not round his ankles.
40 love.
Miss-hit return by Wilander. In fact, the volley not really centred, but he had clearly wrong-footed Wilander. 3 game points to level the second set at 4-all.
Game count.
Well, that's a better serve altogether. Deep, fast, into the body.
Four games all.
Well, we often say that matches are controlled by the momentum that is created. Cash now, having created it, must break
Quiet,
serve
please.
here.
Thank you.
And from Wilander's point of view, somehow he has to stop the rot, get the flow returning his way. Fancy we might see him at the net rather more than usual. Yes, right tactics, John.
Yes, that forced Pat to have to try to return the ball low.
15 love.
What a lovely sight. They are enjoying themselves, these lads. Put that down to the effect of the crowd and the situation and Cash.
15 all.
Needless to say, that's his first double fault. Cash has served 5. Oh, that's tremendous tennis. Three times Wilander wanted to go in, hesitated, waited.
This is definitely the point of the match so far. Cash, extraordinary speed around the court. Wilander determined to win the point, not able to put the ball away until the final backhand volley. And I bet there's a couple of hearts really pounding down there on the centre court right now.
So will his natural instincts prevail and chain him to the baseline here? Or will he do what he knows he should do? Follow in the serve. Well, he was lucky. Every chance there for Cash to have come in against him. So once again, the Swede is ahead. 5-4, second set.
5 games to 4.
Tremendous moving. It's the attitude that Pat adopted early in the 5th set against Ivan Lendl. He was just refusing to allow the ball to get by him. But here we are, him having to fight like this, even during the 2nd set against Wilander.
Well, a beautifully struck return again. What a good volley that was. And how well he covers the net and reads this one so well across the court. So there are the points won at net. Wilander, a surprisingly high number for a man who we think of chiefly as a baseliner. Well, you told me that Jan Tiriac thinks he passes better than Ivan Lendl. Here's an example of it.
Yes, not a really strong volley by Cash, giving Mats a really good opportunity to make the pass.
Well, I suppose you'd probably expect that. That's not Cash's best wing, the forehand, and Mats Wilander would be more at the back than Cash. And the sign we just saw, a little premature, I think. Although he has proved, I think, here at this championship that he can adapt his game to surfaces that are not naturally his best ones.
Game Cash. Five games all.
Yes, I think there are plenty of supporters all around the world who love what Pat Cash has achieved in tennis to date. That first Wimbledon win, his first Grand Slam title, and those memorable Davis Cup successes. So many of those great matches he's played have been here in Melbourne, where this home crowd certainly lifts him. Can they lift him past the Wilander serve now? Correct call. Disappointment.
Long, hard stare by Pat, but mainly in disappointment that the ball had not hit the line.
Revealing there again, he was going to be a serve, that was going to be a serve volley point. And a snarl from Cash. How dare you pass me?
30 love.
And here Cash makes his way to the net. Not terrific depth and not really close to the sideline either.
I think you made the point, John. He hasn't read the serve today, has he?
No, he hasn't been very successful against Mats' serve. Mats' serve still at the 70% level, so down a little bit, but still a very high percentage of first balls in.
Game
so the Swede ahead once more, 6-5, second set. Ever see a better low backhand volley than that?
Yes, this was as good as Wilander has returned the ball, and look at that backhand volley. It wasn't a winner, but it might as well have been. Cash wisely waiting for the crowd to settle down.
First service.
are seeing now some really world-class play from both men.
Here it is from the end of Pat Cash, and just look at this for court coverage. Shows tremendous efforts by both men.
It's better serving now. And I think there are thousands, perhaps millions of mums around the country on the edges of their seats watching Cash here, fighting for his life in the second set.
For service.
So the scene is set for the shootout of a tiebreak.
6 games all, second set tiebreak.
And who'd have thought that before the rains came and the Swede was leading by a set and 4-1. Or to be precise, 3-1 at the time.
And remember the fourth game of the set when Cash staved off the break points. It could have so easily been 4-love to Wilander.
Yes, of course it was 4-1, wasn't it, at the break, not 3, 4-1. Since then, the break of serve in the 7th game has brought us to this tie-break. All credit to the Swede there. When you consider this is not his normal
1-0 Wilander.
Not his normal game at all. Serving and volleying. Taking the half-court ball and going in. But it does keep the pressure on Cash. It was the first backhand, really, that did the damage.
2-0 Wilander.
Accurate, fast, low. Still the first serve won't function. Well, I admire Wilander there, because clearly he thought, as some of us did, that that might have been a double, but he doesn't query it.
And that's a great sportsman. and really well liked by the other players on the tour.
Territory, doesn't have the authority that Cash does.
And it was a great return of serve that set up this point. Cash not being rash, going for the passing shot immediately, played it low, and then the lob to win the point. Cash very calm under pressure.
We said it before, he simply refuses to lose.
Yes, and just a tremendous pass there, then coming in and taking the volley and just nailing that last forehand volley.
So at last he's given this huge crowd something to cheer. And how beautifully they're responding. Three of the 5 points have gone against the serve. What a beautiful serve that was. And you can't tell me that that noise isn't now affecting Wilander a little.
4-2 Cash.
You'd have to be made of ice not to be affected. Four-two. Still, the first serve percentage is too low, just about 54% in. Well, you're watching a superior will at work here. Sheer willpower and determination.
5-2 Cash.
Call it pat power if you like. It is bearing down upon the Swedish shoulders. 2-5. That's another one.
Even the Swede had to clap.
A reluctant applause for what was a gloriously timed lob.
And this is as good as tennis gets.
Cash. Ladies and gentlemen, quiet please.
Reminds me so much of the Wimbledon final when at key moments against Lendl he hit some wonderful little lobs like that. No. The first
6-3 Cash.
The first of 4 successive set points gone. But put in earplugs if he wins this point.
Quiet, please. Thank you.
He's done it. Set to Cash. 7-6 after an hour and 50 minutes.
John Barrett and John Alexander need a heart starter after that last set of tennis.
Love 15.
You're speechless like everybody else, eh?
No, it's just been, well, I think the sort of tennis that we expected, really. I think two great players. And I don't think anybody's been disappointed with the standard of play. Speaking of the standard of play.
What a return from Mats Wilander.
Cash, did he think
Asking
that was
for
a let?
Yeah.
Love. Serve looked in. What can I say? The serve looked in. Sorry? It looked in.
No, he's questioning whether or not it was a fault. It certainly looked good.
Well, Mats Wilander's bouncing right back here. First game of the third set. He's got love 30.
There's some venom in that first serve of Cash now.
15-30.
Well, Cash picking up the percentage in that second set on the first serve as he had to. Served 48% only in the first set and moved it up to 54-55 in the second. So it's heading in the right direction.
All. $30-40.
6 double faults for Pat Cash in the match. The first one for a while. It certainly cost him fairly dearly earlier on in the match.
Yes, he just seemed to lose the rhythm there with the ball toss. You see 6 double faults to 1. Got that ball a little bit too far away from him and dragged it down. Break point. That's the way to answer a double fault to bring up break point. His third ace.
Deuce.
And he always seems to be able to produce that little something extra when it's needed. I guess that's what makes him the Wimbledon champ. Wilander yet to serve an ace. Just made it.
Yeah.
Excessive topspin there, just helping that ball to fall inside the line.
The imperturbable Mats Wilander.
Cash holds serve, 1-love in the third.
First game, third set. $15-love.
Cash mishitting the forehand there, but you just get the feeling that the momentum in the match is moving his way. When he held that serve after the rain delay from 15-40 down, you can really see him lift, and that continued right through that second set till he won it in the tiebreak.
$30-love.
Shots which were so prominent in the first set and a half, now not quite finding their mark.
30-15.
Don't know what happened to Cash during the break, but he seems to be moving more freely now, a bit more relaxed maybe, picking the passing shots. I'm seeing anywhere near the same number as we did to start the match.
Yes, they're not
30-all.
not so subtle pressures of the match have changed, with Cash now serving better and really hitting those volleys so much better than he did in the first set and a half.
Oh, he's like a terrier, Cash.
Sensational tennis. Cash moving in after the return there.
30-40.
Watch to stretch and then turn that into an approach shot. Lovely touch there and covers down the line. Again, emphasising what great court coverage that this man has.
It's a break point for Cash.
That's out. Yeah, definitely. There were calls of out at the baseline during that rally which were incorrect. The calls were coming from the crowd.
Game, Cash.
Well, is that overruled? Is it
Overruled? What's happened there?
Richard Ings?
I didn't hear how.
Well,
The line's lady signalled out.
certainly signalled out. From our vantage point, the ball was clearly out. Well,
Big blow. Now, Richard Ings is calling the lines person over to the chair, and he's calling Pat Cash. Well, Richard Ings saying there was no call about from the lady on that line. She definitely put her arm out, but made no call. See if we can pick this up again. What do you reckon?
Well, when I first saw it, I thought it had landed out, but
quiet, please.
Replay, not so certain about it. But the lines lady saying she didn't call out. It came from the crowd, and so the break goes with Pat Cash.
Love. Correction. Love 15.
Pat Cash just reminding the umpire there that he'd called that first point incorrectly. So Richard Ings feeling the tension a little as well in this final of the Australian Open. Very dramatic. With Cash just starting to assert his supremacy here.
Quiet, please. Thank you.
2 hours and 5 minutes of actual play. Of course, we had that rain interruption of 30-odd minutes. Powerful overhead by Cash.
All.
Well, a real test now for Mats Wilander. He played so beautifully for a set and a half, only to have his momentum taken away with that rain delay. And a close call going against him there to drop serve. Let's see if he can really fight back.
Impenetrable Pat Cash. Have a look at it again from the reverse angle.
30-15.
Doesn't put the smash away, but closes in case Wilander gets it back. And again, those lightning sharp reactions, the reflexes.
Netcourt popped it up awkwardly for Cash.
30 all.
I see Paul McNamee has joined the Cash clan there and his support. And I think the Cash clan would be quite happy. They can sense that the momentum and the match is swinging around in their man's favour. Just a beautiful volley.
.40-30.
Sounds like a debate going on somewhere in the crowd. Cash holds serve. It's 3-love in the third set.
Love 15.
Welcome aboard, Rod Laver.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here and great to be witnessing a match here. It looked like at the beginning Pat was going to be off the court in just a short time, but he's fought back, and he looks like he's really right back in the match.
Second set was some set of tennis, wasn't it?
One of the best shots of the match so far. The crowd loved it. A volley cross court. Cash, a half volley on the run. Sensational shot.
Different man.
He is. It certainly looks like that rain delay helped him no end.
It's marvellous how these two players go about things differently.
30 all.
Pat needs that adrenaline pumping, and Wilander, on the other hand, I mean, he'd be a good poker player, wouldn't he? You can't read much from his face.
No, I think it just seems that Pat, the longer the match goes, the more he's capable of winning this whole tournament. But of course, Mats is a great counterpuncher.
40-30.
Getting a lot of support anyway, Mats Wilander.
Deuce.
You can see Pat, his feet are moving better now and really moving into the shot. Certainly timing the ball better. That first set he was mistiming so many shots. Maybe that was the wind, but his concentration seems to be here now.
Sensational point again from Cash, and this gives him a break point.
Advantage Cash.
I don't think there's a better mover on the court than Pat Cash. Just on the baseline into make that first volley, and then of course he sits there. He doesn't anticipate too quickly. He waits for the ball to be hit, and then hits the open court and really middles the ball very nicely on the volleys.
I think it's starting to rain again. That's what Mats Wilander is waiting for.
I think we're going to have to stop.
Cash says we're going to have to stop.
I know the court gets slippery when it's wet.
Yeah, Richard Ing says, I know it gets slippery. Yes, here comes the referee, Peter Bellinger. I think Wilander is saying, well, who's running the show, you or Mr. Cash?
Ladies and gentlemen, slight delay in play due to rain.
I think Wilander was quite happy to go on. And that
seems like it is getting a little heavier now, though.
Yeah. So after a delay of some 18 minutes, we're about to get the match underway again. Mats Wilander serving.
Wilander to serve.
Break point.
Score is advantage Cash.
In
Quiet,
the fourth
please.
game. Third set.
So just a huge point coming up here for Mats Wilander. Yes, waiting for total silence. Cash certainly put the pressure right on him, attacked, put it up to him.
Deuce.
And from our reverse angle camera, in he goes, Cash. Good pressure tennis here, maybe having to force the double break, but on this occasion, Wilander is equal to the task.
Oh, he's mishit it.
That looked pretty close. That looked pretty close.
He's upset over the
Ball on the baseline.
ball on the baseline.
Second guess balls that close.
But he can't do anything now anyway. You can't play out the point and then say, excuse me, Mr. Umpire, the ball 3 shots ago was out.
Yeah.
Advantage Cash.
I think that's about as upset as Mats gets on the court.
Yeah.
But I think it does favour Mats at the moment, that little break, because Pat was certainly on a roll and was very strong. So I'm not counting Mats out at the moment. He's very strong-willed and good counterpuncher.
Second break point for Cash.
Fault. Deuce.
Fairly loose return there by Pat Cash. I wonder if he's getting annoyed with the crowd noise. They're becoming pretty vocal.
Yeah, I think they need to be kept in check just a little more, actually.
Particularly in between serves.
Yeah, just failed to hook it back in.
Advantage Wilander.
Cash gave the linesman a glare, but couldn't intimidate him at all. So Mats Wilander survives the traumas of a 19-minute rain delay, survives 2 break points there to put himself on the board for the first time in the third set.
Cash leads.
Still
3
down a
games
break
to 1.
though. 3-1 Cash.
Well, history repeating itself there, because after the first rain delay, Cash came out and had to save 2 break points for a double break. He was able to do it, and now Mats Wilander has followed suit here. Cash then went on though and broke the next game. Let's see if Wilander can continue the trend. Fair start.
Well, they're the kind of returns he was serving up in the first set.
And that's certainly Mats's great asset, is his return a serve and keeps the pressure on Pat. He's got to be down there low, picking volleys off his shoe tops, and of course good accuracy from Mats's returns.
Love 30.
Well, this is exactly what the Swedish fans are hoping for, and Wilander now with a distinct possibility. Love 30 on Cash's serve of getting right back into the third set. Oh, Cash produces a blinder. Ace number 4 for him.
15 or 30.
Beautiful produced serve there by Cash. And let's watch him here, and you'll see after he hits the ace, he was really delighted with it. You'll see him just a little wave of the racket there. He knew that was a big point. What a serve.
All.
And again, just watch the acceleration here of Cash as it really moves in to get that volley above the height of the net.
Certainly a mark of a great champion, with Pat coming back from love 30 to 2 big serves and finish it off with that volley. It's a great performance.
55% of first serves now for Cash, improving slowly but surely.
Surprise, a baseline rally, and it was and here you can see now Pat Cash making a comment to the umpire.
30-40.
I'm sure it's about the noise during the point.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a courtesy to both players, please, a little quiet during play. Thank you.
Well, everybody's applauding that, so I don't know who's making the noise.
You notice Mats is getting close to the baseline to return serve, so he's making it tough on Pat's first volleys. He's not getting in as far as he'd like to.
Oh, he's rushed it.
Well, again, Cash moves so magnificently at the net. It's so hard to pass him.
Deuce.
And Wilander had an opportunity here as we watch from our reverse angle. This is the backhand that gives him the chance. Cash does a full turn, and Wilander, I think, thinking he'd almost won the point on that previous shot. So once again, that great athletic ability saving Cash.
Advantage Wilander.
He's got 2 forehand volleys in this game missed by Cash. And not that it's a weakness, but it's pretty much regarded by the players that his backhand volley is the better one.
That one?
That one.
And of course, you saw where he took the volley. It was just right next to the net, so he's following up so beautifully when he comes in for that first volley, and that's the great asset if you're a net rushing person, to get in there close. Don't get caught with your the ball right next to your toes.
Rod Laver, our special guest in this exciting third set.
Cash down, a third break point as we watch here. Not getting that volley deep enough, and that just presented Mats Wilander with his favourite shot. Down the line backhand.
half tempted to hit it.
Deuce.
Certainly seems that Mats Wilander has picked up the speed and accuracy that he seemed to lack there at the end of that second delay. He's really back there timing the ball very cleanly now, and I think moving in at every chance.
The returns are really screaming off Wilander's racket now.
Advantage Wilander.
Break point number 4.
And let's watch where Wilander took that ball from. As Rod Laver said, he moved so aggressively forward. He was nearly 1.5 meters inside the baseline when he contacted that ball.
Misses the volley. Wilander breaks back, gets Cash 3-2, third set.
Cash leads 3 games to 2. Love 15.
Really amazing how those two rain delays have created exactly opposite reactions. Now stung into action.
Love 30.
After losing his serve, he's been very aggressive. The first 2 points of this game, in he comes again.
I think there's a little bit more wind blowing around, eddying around in the stadium, so might be a little tricky. And of course, Mats being at the baseline has to work awfully hard to get topspin on the ball. And also trying to pass someone of Cash's ability there at the net.
A short ball there from Cash allowed Wilander into the net, but it didn't do him any good. Unable to hand that full-blooded attempted pass
Love
from
40.
the Australian. Cash has got him on toast here at Love 40. 6th game, 3rd set. Misses it. Cash gets the break again. It's 4-2.
Cash leads 4 games to 2.
Well, not a good serving game there from Mats Wilander. The first serve letting him down, and that enabled Cash to really move in and put the pressure back on him just when he'd broken him back himself and was in a good position to maybe consolidate. It allowed Cash back on top with rather poor serving.
Well, Cash is going to be looking for a quick service game here. So they can put the pressure right back on Wilander.
Love.
Wilander missing his favourite shot, but Cash putting the pressure on those passing shots all the time, and the longer the match goes, I think the more advantageous it is to be at the net.
That's true. He's got a pinpoint accuracy, and he's not much room because Pat's so quick up there. Has to be. I think he's lost the lob. He's not using that lob very much anymore.
Must have heard you, Rod.
Yep. Oh, it drew the error from Cash.
15 all.
It just seems that until Mats puts those lobs up, Pat's going to have his nose over the net, and of course this is where I think Mats has the ability to put Cash in trouble, because to get him back off the net, so those accurate passing shots that Mats generally has can be effective.
$30-15. $40-15.
And again, Cash being rewarded for being the first player to be aggressive in the point.
Game
Cash holds serve for a lead of 5 games to 2 in the third set.
Love 15.
Well, the net court here popping the ball up, and Mats Wilander with a topspin approach shot. It just sets up at the right height, and Cash just picked it off beautifully.
Cash has played the lob more effectively and more frequently than Wilander in this match, hasn't he?
Love 30.
Yes, that was a beautiful defensive lob there, hit high, just aiming to keep himself in the point, and he ended up winning it.
15-30.
Well, that's the serve that Mats Wilander used very effectively early in this match. That's wide swinging serve to the Cash forehand.
Wilander stood and waited for that call. You should have seen the look of relief on his face when it came.
It certainly helps to get those first serves in.
Cain Wilander.
Well, he is a most obdurate man, isn't he, Mats Wilander? He just never gives up.
Cash leads 5-3.
Well, a much better service game there from Mats, getting the first serve in, which he didn't do when he'd broken back a couple of games ago, and it cost him dearly. And we'll have now Pat Cash stepping up to the line to serve for the third set.
Love.
The atmosphere in the stadium is electric. I don't know how the players manage to blot it out, or they don't try, Rod.
Well, it's a tough one. It's quite a lot of pressure out there. I'm wondering if that center line there, we've got the shadow of the roof coming over. Just wondering, probably more effective. It would hurt Mats more than it would Pat Cash, I believe.
Love.
I think Pat really feels that the crowd's on his side, so even though you see a lot of Swedish flags and striped faces out there with the colours of the Swedish.
Weight of numbers is on Patrick's side. Yeah, I think you're right.
Positive game here from Cash.
40 love.
Another good first serve, and in he moves, and just the wrong footing volley sets him up for 3 set points.
Oh, dear me. That looked pretty good. No. Cash gives a glare. The crowd groans.
Game and third set Cash.
Cash takes the third set, 6-3. He leads 2-1.
Love.
And John, looks like Pat Cash is well placed now, doesn't it? 2-1. That's a very big set, that third set.
Yes, this match really has been filled with fluctuations.
30 love.
Matt is not a guy that's going to give up.
well in this first game, fourth set.
40 love.
A quick service game here would give him a lift. He needs it.
$40-15.
So only his second double fault for the match, and still very well placed in the game though. See, Pat Cash has served 6, which were pretty much early in the match before he really settled down.
Game Wilander.
Good game to open this fourth set for Mats Wilander. He leads 1-love but trails 2 sets to 1.
First game, fourth set.
This loses the first point. Love 15.
Love 15.
And as you would no doubt expect, we will stay with this match until the last point is played.
Love 30.
A fairly wild second service there from Cash. His 7th double fault. And puts him in just a little bit of a hole here. But Wilander played a good opening game.
Out. 15-30.
So I think Pat would sort of be just adjusting to the real prospect of winning this Australian Open, which must mean so much to him. And it could just unnerve him for a little bit.
$15-40.
Speaking of unnerving him, that was a really uncharacteristic backhand volley from Cash. He's hit it so beautifully throughout this match. It was one of the more straightforward ones, and Wilander has his chance. Can't take it on the first opportunity.
30-40. Game Wilander.
That ball.
Wilander leads 2 games to love.
Pat Cash very annoyed with himself. A couple of loose shots in that game from him. Double fault, missed volley, and then that forehand. So
Yes.
now he's got a lot more work to do, John.
Down a break already, but if you're going to lose your serve, it's best to lose it early in the set. And you've got a set to get it back. He really did nail that last forehand. It wasn't a tentative shot at all.
Love 15.
Cash going up to the umpire.
Okay, I'll make another announcement. 15 all. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate your enthusiasm, but please, as a courtesy to both players, a little quiet during play. Thank you.
And this was the point in replay from the reverse angle, a beautiful angled backhand volley by Wilander, although Cash was covering that corner, couldn't get the ball back into play.
From Mats there.
15-30.
There's Cash again putting the pressure on here. Well, a difficult shot for the topspin lob there.
30 all.
It was a fairly low bounce, and Pat was mid-court. Didn't have a lot of room to work with, and overhit. A very good time to serve volley there for Mats Wilander, taking the game up to Cash, not being negative and staying back. And he's got a chance to take a 3-love lead.
Game Wilander, new ball.
Wilander does take that game and now leads 3-love in the 4th set, but trails 2-1.
Love 15.
Well, don't often see Pat Cash miss overheads, and the camp looks a little worried. I think everybody felt at 2-1 that Cash would really just go on and take out the match. But Mats Wilander's got other ideas. Lovely low return.
It was that type of returning that just tore Pat Cash apart the first set and a half. Not overpowering, just accurate, deadly accurate to Pat's feet.
15-30. All.
And there is no doubt about it. 7 Network will cover this match till the last ball, and the news will follow.
Oh, gee, what a magnificent serve there from Cash. Short, cutting away, lovely slice on it.
40-30.
His 5th ace, coming at a time when he sorely needed one.
Deuce.
Another top-class return causing the volley error. Hit hard, right at the feet. And although Cash has volleyed magnificently, it's pretty hard to keep coming up with that quality first volley. So Wilander really threatening here in this 4th set.
Easiest volleys have
advantage Wilander.
So a point for a double break as Pat Cash is showing signs of tension there. These returns really putting him under the hammer again.
Cain Wilander.
Double break of serve, another great low return, forcing the volley error.
Wilander leads 4 games to love.
Well, it could be possible that Pat would be getting tired from having to have bent so low so often. That low forehand volley. Remember, it was after the 1984 season it was so successful for him that Pat was sidelined with a back injury.
Low.
So a great performance in this 4th set from Mats Wilander. This big crowd heavily in favour of his opponent, and down 2 sets to 1. Things weren't looking good for him.
Cash can't buy a forehand volley.
30 low. Low.
Very well placed serve there by Wilander, continuing a lot of his attack to that forehand side, either with the ground stroke or with the volley.
Game Wilander.
And very quickly to 5-love. Mats Wilander looking likely to take this match into a 5th set.
Wilander leads 5 games to love.
And he would need to hang on to this service game.
15 love.
Only to stop Wilander from serving first in the 5th set. Comes down to a 5th set. It definitely is an advantage to be serving first.
Yes, no tie break in the 5th set.
All.
And Pat Cash has really lost his rhythm and apparently his confidence. He's looking as he did in the early parts of this match, for the first set and a half before the rain came.
At 30.
And for the first time, he looked a little slow reacting to that passing shot.
Now that ball was really hit with a lot of power by Wilander.
A lot more bounce, though, in the Wilander step, jogging up and down. He knows this is his chance to really get on top here.
Well, he really knows from the second set.
30 all.
You've got to put Pat Cash away when you have the chance. Mats led 3-love with game points for 4-love. At 4-1 had game points for 5-1. The chances went, and so did the set.
Number 6 for Cash.
40-30.
Again, another high-quality return, setting up the point.
Deuce.
His supporters urging him on, Mats Wilander. Not many of them here, but what are here are certainly making their presence felt.
Advantage Cash. Game count. Wilander leads 5 games to 1.
So Cash on the scoreboard in this 4th set. And finishing it off with a nice forehand volley, a shot that has let him down a bit in this set. And it's a pretty cool and relaxed Mats Wilander at this particular stage of the match, stepping up to serve for the 4th set.
15 love.
It really was a tentative second serve. He just begged the ball to go in, and Cash really gave it what it was worth. Unfortunately for Pat, the ball hit right on top of the net.
Applause for a ball boy there as he made a good save. Stopped the ball rolling out on the court.
Love.
Cash determined to have a go at the second serve of Wilander. And whether he's successful this game or not, I think he's really trying to set his rhythm and his strategy for the fifth set.
Love.
So 3 set points to Mats Wilander. A real turnaround he's engineered in this 4th set.
Game and 4th set.
Takes out. This match is all tied
6
up.
games
The
to 1.
players change ends. 2 sets all. We're in for a thriller 5th set. Down in the 4th set.
Love 15.
And Mats Wilander knows it. He's directing his attack, his returns to that low forehand volley. And a key game coming up here for Cash. He seemed to tense up a little early in the 4th set when he could sense victory. I don't think he'd be having any sense of victory at this stage.
Mets' returns have been so brilliant in the last set.
15 all.
This really comes down to Pat's first serve, how many he's going to get in.
Out. 30-15.
It struck me from the way that Cash has been shaping to some of his shots of late that he's beginning to tire. And it's going to take a tremendous effort now of will and of muscle if he's going to come out of this. You've got to turn the momentum his way somehow.
Again, the forehand volley, Alan.
30 all.
Gets the first break point in the final sets.
30-40.
Well, it was a pretty good first serve, but look at the quality of that return, again directed wide to the forehand side of Cash, where he is starting to make a couple of errors.
Second service.
So Wilander
Cain
gets the
Wilander.
break and leads 1 game to love in the final set.
Yes, he's definitely half a yard slow now.
15 low.
So from a reverse angle replay, baseline rally, in comes Cash. Not quite as good an approach shot, and cleanly passed there as Mats Wilander's confidence just continuing to skyrocket in the latter stages of this match. 14 forehand winners he's hit.
Sport, Alan, it's an adage that when you get tired, your skill level goes down, doesn't it?
Yes, well, you're that little bit, well, half step or so slower getting to the ball, which causes you to mistime a few. And I think Patrick's pretty much physically and mentally drained at this point.
40 low.
I think more mentally.
And I think really we've got to pay a tremendous tribute to his opponent, Mats Wilander. What a fighter against all the odds here at 2 sets to 1 down. Tremendous crowd, 90% probably against him. What a gutsy performance from Mats Wilander.
Cain Wilander.
And so Mats Wilander holds serve.
Wilander leads 2 games to love.
His last 3 service games to love.
That's a sure sign, isn't it? The towering opponent.
Low angle and luck maybe finally going Pat's way.
Well, Mats Wilander had him here. Tried to lift that ball over in a driving volley motion instead of just a little block shot.
Crowd really trying to lift
30 low.
And confident on the high volley. It's the low forehand volley that's let him down the last set and a half. The quality of those Wilander returns.
Wasn't
30-15. 40-15.
Well, an improving percentage by Cash, 59% now of first serves into play, but still really too low. Wilander's 72%.
Cash believing, like many in the crowd, that he had the ace.
She's right. She's right. Ball just missed.
Richard Ings going with the lines person. Let's take a look at it. So Cash holds his serve, but Mats Wilander is still leading with the service break in hand. 2-1 final set.
Wilander leads 2-1. First service.
You must win the early points.
Love 15.
So Mats Wilander working his way into the net.
Quiet, please.
Again, the approach shot, though, it sets up. Cash has got the opportunity and hooks it across court. Well disguised forehand. And as you said, Pete, he wanted that opening point. It now puts pressure on Mats Wilander, whose second serve sometimes can fall a little short.
Oh, the forehand errors. Still they multiply.
15 all.
And Darren Hinch, one of the many interested spectators here at courtside. From Hinch on 7.
Well, it's starting to look as if that forehand side of Pat Cash might be his undoing. Just a few forehand volleys and then slightly mistiming a few ground strokes there. Mats Wilander is very wisely probing that side.
Yes, I don't think it's been lost on the dual champion, do you?
40-15.
Well, Wilander hoping to draw an error here, but Cash more confident on the backhand side.
It's the best he's done on a Wilander service game for quite some time. In fact, since the third of the previous set.
Deuce.
Cash fighting back, giving it everything he's got.
Quiet, please. Thank you.
Shot here off the return of serve.
Advantage
and lunge volley on the forehand. What a fighter.
Last time he had a break point, the 6th game of the 3rd set.
Deuce.
Mats Wilander showing his class there. Beautifully placed first serve on the break point down.
Cash turning a miss hit into a break point.
And Mats Wilander just shaking his head. He was desperately unlucky there. That ball just falling in a very awkward position. And as you said, turning a miss hit into a winning opportunity for Pat Cash. Can he take advantage of it? No, another well-placed serve.
Same point almost in replay, Alan, wasn't it? First serve into the backhand.
Well, another cool display under pressure from Mats. Look at the faces of the two players. Mats Wilander looks that little bit more calm, a little bit more composed.
Advantage Cain.
Again, the great athletic ability of Pat Cash, a baseline rally. Looking for an opportunity to attack. Here he comes, topspin lob, and with his back to the net, just a sensational high backhand volley. Really had the crowd out of their seats. Break point number 4-3.
Breaks back. Probably the best point of the match.
Well, again, Cash first to attack. He just gets that back. He looks out of the point. And on full lunge, magnificent cross-court volley winner. It's brought the crowd to its feet.
2 games all.
Well, Bob Hawke and Don Howard, the excitement.
I think they need the speaker for...
Ladies and gentlemen, quiet, please.
Richard Ings having trouble controlling the crowd here as the excitement is just almost too much for this huge crowd. Two all, fifth set.
Love 15.
And they're riding the blows pretty heavily out there too.
Love 30.
Well, after such a tremendous effort to break back in that last game when Mats Wilander led 40-15. Pat Cash just a couple of errors here. The relentless Swede continuing to keep the ball in play.
At 30.
A couple of big points coming up here for Cash.
On the Cash
15
brothers,
40.
Pat and Brian. Beautifully played point though by Mats Wilander, not panicking, throwing up the topspin lob to get Cash out of position, getting him back from the net, and ended up winning the point. So two break opportunities here for Mats Wilander.
Cash getting the first serve in on the break point.
30-40.
Not counting the rain delays, the match has been in progress 3 hours, 40 minutes.
Well, what smart tennis from Cash. Three-quarter pace, kicking serve, in fast, and then on full stretch, again, the backhand volley played to perfection.
It's a tactic that Stefan Edberg uses quite a bit.
What tremendous fifth set we're seeing between really two great players.
Advantage Cash.
So again, Cash, a low volley, and this time with the wrong footing shot. Again demonstrating his character, down 2 break points. Wilander had 2 game points in the previous game. Cash down 2 here, just refusing to yield.
2-love lead has evaporated to a 2-3 deficit. Mats Wilander now having to regroup, trailing 2-3.
A very well placed first serve, and Mats Wilander has lost the last 3 games. He had game points in 2 of them, but this man will not give in. A magnificent lob in that point by Mats Wilander to save himself.
But I think the encouraging thing is that the tiredness which afflicted Cash towards the end of the 4th set now seems to have gone. He's drawing on new reserves. And at this stage of any 5th set match, and particularly in such an important one to both of them, a championship final, it is sheer guts, character and courage that counts, nothing else.
Cain Wilander.
Courage to go for an ace.
Only his second for the match. And a psychological big point, that one.
3 games all.
Nice to finish off a game with such authority. And this match all tied up again, 3-all, 5th set.
Well, I thought when this second week began and Cash was playing so well that perhaps destiny had it in for him to win this first title here at the National Tennis Centre.
And the return, a bit high this time. Good serve, setting up the volley for Cash. And John, it's our Australia Day holiday tomorrow, and what a celebration this would be if, what a start to the weekend if Cash could win this.
All through this match,
15-all.
Mats Wilander has directed very sensibly most of his attack to the forehand side. He's played a brilliantly patient match, having to ride the Cash blows and find ways of recovering.
(30-15). First service.
Well, that was a tremendous point for Cash, wasn't it?
Yes, a marvellous defensive lob. I think Cash thought it was going out. In comes Wilander, and look at Cash's reaction here. Raised his fist to the sky.
Well, I suppose poetic justice, really.
40-30.
And I think we'll see as Cash goes in behind this serve how early this ball is taken on the rise and projected like that arrow down the line. Well, and often the seventh game is a vital one in any set. Could not be more important in this one.
No, and Wilander jogging up and down. Again, taking that return very early. Cash with the advantage of serving first in this set. Still gusty down on the centre court. You can hear the wind in our courtside microphones. Very high quality second serve.
Advantage Cash.
It's both gusty and gutsy down there at the moment on both sides of the net.
Well, Mats Wilander has a lot of friends here in Australia. He's been a very, very popular champion in the 2 years that he won.
For service.
And although most of the crowd for Cash, they're very, I think, supportive and appreciative of the great tennis that Mats Wilander has produced.
Game Cash.
So Cash holding tight with a 4-3 lead in this final set.
Love.
In shades of how Mats Wilander played the first set and a half, attacking and finishing off the point with a volley. He's really mixed his tactics quite brilliantly in this match. Varied his game from baseline to attack.
30 love.
Well, a good attacking Cash's forehand with the desired result.
Cash camps looking a little concerned.
40 love.
A little apprehensive. But Peter, how fitting that in the first year that we've had the Australian Open at this National Tennis Centre that we would have a final like this.
It's a beauty, isn't it? 6 times Mats has served. He's held serve to love.
4
In
games.
the middle came a service break.
And in that game, Peter, he'd led 40-15, so he really could have held that game. And the crowd really, again, getting right into this.
No tie break, remember. It's an advantage set. Good second service.
Well, unbelievable.
Love.
That's number 7. I believe the first from a second service for Pat. Christopher Skase and Ewan Hinch probably biting the nails like everybody else. Rarely would you see Cash miss an overhead unless he was
15 all.
Well, also, I think he was forced to change his mind there. When there's a high smash like that, he likes to angle it with a bit of slice out to the forehand. I think he saw Mats Wilander heading that way, changed his mind and just caught the tape.
Pat probably a little relieved he didn't have to play that forehand volley.
Again, just a sensational piece of court coverage, saving Pat Cash. And Anders Jürgen, the coach, Mats Wilander. Must he be feeling now?
I think tension like the rest of us. Cash has held his service and in the 5th set leads 5 games to 4. He's down 4-5. That's Wilander to serve, down 4-5.
Match now in progress 4 hours.
So that's longer than the Cash Lindell encounter, Alan.
Yes, so if Cash wins this tournament, this Australian Open, boy, has he earned it.
Might be ball abuse.
15 long.
Could get a point here.
Sorry? No, not for a couple of games.
Cash just asking Richard Ings when are the new balls due. Richard just saying a couple more games.
luck at all.
30 low.
Well, Cash knew he'd overhit that approach shot. He hesitated the moment he hit the ball. He knew that he just lifted it a little.
Cash just can't win the points off Wilander's service, can he?
40 low.
What an exquisitely played shot there from Mats Wilander. Just hesitating, just holding the shot long enough for Cash to commit and then hitting back behind him.
And that point is important because it's the first time in 3 service games from Mats Wilander that Cash has won a point. Getting a bit of your own medicine.
40-30.
Right at his feet.
Well, Mats Wilander had better be careful here. He lost his serve. He only had a break of serve early in this set at 2-1. He led 40-15 and lost that game. He's led 40-love here. It's back to 40-30.
It's even tighter now, Alan.
Pat Cash, 2 points from the match.
Deuce.
The crowd sensing it. Might be 2 hard points to win.
Well, the pressure really on Mats Wilander now. He'll be thinking about, he led 40-love in this game. And in fact, just getting another ball to select the newer.
Great effort by Cash to even get a racket on it.
Advantage Wilander.
And full marks for courage there for Mats Wilander to play an unnatural point for him, a serve volley point. It took great strength of character for him to produce that shot there.
Cash deciding he was going to get the net and not Mats Wilander. Let's take a look at that point from the reverse angle.
Well, a little bit of luck here. That volley coming off near the throat of the racket. There was no way that was meant to be a drop volley. So a little bit of good fortune there for Pat Cash.
Advantage Wilander.
Well, the tactics were sound there for Cash, rallying till he got the opportunity to move forward to attack, but Mats Wilander able to fight him off.
5 games all.
Had Cash on 2 occasions to within 2 points of the title, but it wasn't to be.
Oh, well, really gutsy tennis there from Mats Wilander. Seemingly simple game at 40 love, and then having to fight tooth and nail, and doing it courageously, attacking, trying to keep Cash back from the net. 5 all.
Low.
A little bit unlucky there, Mats. That ball was home if it cleared the tape.
This stage of the vital set, that serve really was a gem.
Low.
Hit very, very straight down the line. Probably didn't have to go quite that near.
And this is where it is an advantage to be serving first in this 5th set with no tie break. Cash always the game in front. If he holds serve, he gets the opportunity to go to the change of ends, have a rest, and really then come out for an all-out attack. The other big advantage at serving first here in this advantage set is that being the game up, he only needs to break through, and that'll give him the match.
He's got to serve it out.
Mats Wilander has got to break through and then to hold serve to win the match. So I think the odds pretty much in Cash's favour here.
Couldn't do enough with the return. It's set up nicely for Wilander. And you'll see that from our reverse angle replay of this shot.
It's another good return at the feet. The half volley goes up. Mats can go either way and elects to go with his favourite.
So this game's tightened up as well, as did Wilander's service game the game previous. He led 40 love, as did Cash. Serve, and he goes to a lead of 6 games to 5 in the 5th and final set.
How lucky we are to get such a tremendous final. It's a long time since I think we've had a final of this quality.
Yes, it's even better than last year's between Cash and Edberg, isn't it?
Yes,
that was good.
It's the best one we've had for years.
Low.
dismissed with the high backhand volley. A shot that Cash generally plays so well.
30 love.
Well, he was forced to go a bit wider than he wanted to. Wilander had faked and not gone cross court, stayed there, and then that forced Cash to have to try for a little bit more.
Love.
Well, he's referred often as the cool Swede. He certainly looks every bit of that at the moment, doesn't he? Wilander going for his 4th love game on the service in this set, but it wasn't to be. Bit of roll. Yes, we had Wilander
6 games all.
with Cash at the baseline trying to hit through him.
Well, again, a good mixture of play from Mats Wilander, just getting the balance right here between baseline play and attacking. If he stays back too much, that'll let Cash in. So finishing off a lot of the games with some net play himself.
6-all, no tie break.
Love 15.
Double fault number 9 for Pat.
All.
So Cash missing with the first serve in this 13th game. Hasn't got a first serve in yet.
Oh, completely baffling Cash there. We'll see on this lower angle replay. Good return now. Cash moving to his right here. And Wilander just holding back the forehand long enough to outguess Cash there.
So a little bit of danger for Patrick. So has missed with all first serves so far this game. Yes, that's better. He missed with that shot before, so a good tactic by Wilander to throw it up. Cash had the answer.
Well, you just marvel at the athletic ability and the strength that these players still have at 6-all in the 5th after over 4 hours to be able to leap into the air and play a shot like that.
And hit it for a winner too.
Oh, yes, just a magnificent tennis match between these two really great players.
2 sets all. 30 all. 6 all. Ball in, and what a difference it made.
Well, he got the first serve in, but it was a pretty good return. He had to really handle a very difficult low volley there initially, and then pounced on that higher volley.
Oh, he's missed the backhand volley now.
Okay, I'll say something, okay?
And Cash upset with the crowd.
Juice. Again, another request, ladies and gentlemen, a little quiet, please, during play. Thank you.
It was at the request of Pat Cash to Richard Ings to make that announcement. Well, another fantastic return. Cash lunging around the net, covering everything so magnificently, but can't gather that one. And you saw in the background the reaction there of Mats Wilander, really pumped up. Just sensational shot making from him as he's got break point.
Excellent point from Cash. First serve in.
Juice.
Handy volley.
Yes, good percentage play there with the first serve in, and you wouldn't like to have to hit a smash like that, a high lob falling down on top of you and break point. But the really wonderful thing about this match now is that the points are won with quality play, with winners or with forced errors. Just tremendous standard of play.
Amazing tennis from Mats Wilander. That's the only way to describe that. He was out of that point for all money. Certainly one of the points of the match. More than one great shot, actually. They didn't have the rest there, don't they?
Oh, well, Peter, this is one of the great points that I've seen in many years of broadcasting. It was worth just watching.
Big chance now for Wilander. Out in the second serve. That's out.
Game Wilander.
So when we return, Mats Wilander will be serving for the Ford Australian Open.
He's right. The ball is wide. Wilander leads 7 games to 6.
Points from the title.
And Peter, Mats Wilander has been runner-up in his last 3 Grand Slam finals. And a chance here to reverse that trend, and I don't think anybody would deny that he would deserve to.
It would then mean the last 5 Australian Open titles have been won by Swedes.
Again, now that wonderful mix of play that he's done so nicely throughout the match. Mats Wilander, a serve volley point there, something that's not his natural game. What a masterful performance.
Three match points.
Low.
A look of almost resignation there in the faces of the Cash camp.
And Mats Wilander wins it.
Game set, Mats Wilander. 3 sets to 2. 6-3, 6-7, 3-6, 6-1, 8-6.